Because you were, I mean, you were literally stuck like, oh.
I didn't know who it was. Um, welcome. This is the Random Discourse Podcast. It is your boy C, aka C, Big Brother Almighty, your moderator into Fuckboys Anonymous, aka Super Clark Kent, and the Homebody Homeboy. Damn, I'm forgetting my names. That's crazy.
Getting old.
I'm getting so old. So old.
Sold.
So old.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nesha Smiles, aka the queen of audio arousal. You heard that? Did you see it?
I heard it. I heard it. Go ahead.
Go, no, you got to give me some go off, sis. That was a go off, sis moment.
Go off, sis.
Whatever. Coming from a dude who wanted to say stuff like "it's for me" or what was the saying you wanted to say? Now you want to act or shy. Go off, sis.
I mean, it's not even about being shy. I pick and choose what it is that I want to steal. So that's what I'm doing now. You understand what I'm saying?
Not a nigga with preferences. How
Wow.
you doing?
Wow, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm phenomenal. Damn, I said that dumb hard. But
Yeah.
I really am phenomenal.
Tell us why you're phenomenal.
Oh, well, I don't mind if I do.
Mm-hmm.
So like one, did you peep the nails? All right, let me say like, did you peep the nails? I know you can see.
Not showing your
Don't
nails.
come. How many times do we have to go over this? When I show you my nails as my friend, you gas me up. Yes, Nesha, them nails is nailing.
All right. So try again.
Like, I'm so good. Like, did you peep the nails?
Yes, Nisha, those nails are nailing.
So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? You say you're
Just,
phenomenal. All right,
no,
cool. Cool,
don't
cool,
ask
cool, cool,
me
cool,
no
cool.
questions.
Cool. Why not? Why can't I ask you no
Because you just blew
questions?
mine. You really just gave me that monotone, and then you just gonna separate the words with so much space, perfectly. Like, why would you do that? You
Because
gave
I'm
me
me.
nothing to work with.
Because I'm me. And you don't need nothing to work with. Gas yourself up, sis. It's called
It feels good
self-esteem.
when
It's esteem of your motherfucking self.
oh, so now I don't got self-esteem.
I'm just saying, you got
No,
it.
I
Just
got
use
it
it.
because clearly I got it. It's here.
All
I just
right.
you know.
All right. See, we didn't start posting on YouTube so you could show off your nails. All
Did
right.
you sure?
All
That's what
right.
I heard.
Shout out your nail tech real quick. Just do it because I know you want to. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, like at Glam by Chazzy Nails. Listen, y'all, she do press-ons. She's no longer located in New York City. She is now a Miami nail tech, and therefore I get all her press-ons. Did you see this? Yeah, she didn't do this with her hands. Yeah, she didn't apply these to my hands with her hands. She created them, sent them to me, quick shipping, good prices, and we done. So yeah.
What's her name again?
No. Don't tell me what to do.
What's
I
her
said what
name
I said.
again?
I said what I said. If y'all want to know, it'll be in the description.
Yo, old girl, cut the check for that free promo. That us. Yeah, we here. All right. So we had something interesting happen over the weekend. You want to talk about that or nah?
You talk about it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I threw a game night, y'all.
See, you know what? This is why I knew if I said you talk about it. I knew you was going to lie to the people.
Ah!
Listen, you guys. Nesha Smiles hosted her first annual. Now let me stop.
First annual? Ooh, first
Yo.
annual is crazy.
Nah, yeah, I hosted a game night, R&B game night to be specific. You know,
Uh-huh.
it was dope. It was very exciting. I don't usually host, so there's a whole thing with that, but it was really fun. A nice small knit crowd. I don't like large groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very fire.
Because the
Very
Bible says where 2 and 3 are gathered.
crickets. Crickets.
Well, fuck it then. Just keep talking.
Now tell the people how you lost.
How
And
I
tell
lost what?
everything. Everything
My
we
team
played.
won. My
No,
team
no,
won.
no,
The
no,
goats.
no,
The goats.
no, 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 no.
The
Tell
goats.
no, no, no,
The
no, no,
goats
no,
won. We
no, no,
won
no,
everything.
no, no, no. I'm
SS.
looking at the scoreboard right now.
We had
Don't
about
lie.
1,500
Don't lie.
points.
I'm looking at the scoreboard right now.
AOS. AOS.
It's the AOS.
Tell her we had like 1,500 points. The
Whatever.
goats was doing
That's
it,
what's
not
cheating. Let me tell
what's it
y'all. Let me
called?
tell you,
MVP.
listeners, don't
MVP.
ever, listeners, don't ever get too drunk or too tipsy when you're playing game night, because the points was all lies.
No, they weren't.
Points wasn't adding up.
They
No,
added up perfectly.
no, they was getting written on the wrong side of the team. They was getting marked on the wrong side. Like it was a mess.
That's not true. I completely disagree.
Did you have fun?
I had a great time.
Awesome.
I had a great time. Good vibes, good people, good conversation, good food. The sliders were amazing until I found out that Nesha made them, and then they weren't so good.
Wow. How was the meat?
The who? Would you just ask me? Exactly.
How was
I
the
ate a
meat?
bag. I ate a bag of purple Doritos, and it was
How
immaculate.
was the meat?
I'm sorry, what?
How was the meat? All right, come on, let's answer.
Exactly. I'm not answering that. I
No,
ate a
but
bag of
seriously
purple
though, how was
Doritos.
the meat?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna tell you how the meat was. I don't know how the meat was. Don't ask me how the meat was.
I'm saying, like, was it like
Yo, lightning for that, yo. What's wrong? What's wrong with you?
no?
Lightning for
Because
that.
I was really like seasoning the meat and stuff, and I was like, dang, like I want to make sure this meat is real tender and juicy, like you know what I'm saying? Like I want.
Lightning.
All right, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
You
Lightning for
deserve it.
that.
I told the listeners you get a bullet to you, so I got to make sure that they know that you getting something thrown at you, like something. So you gonna take this heat?
Lightning for that. Yo, you wildin'. You wildin'. Talking about I'm gonna take this. You said heat or meat? See, I ain't even hear you. Nah, you know what? It's time to move on. The Nisha Smiles R&B game night was amazing. It was cool. We had a good time. We just gonna skip past that. Now we gonna get into something real serious today. This is a very serious topic. I'm gonna try my best not to, make any offensive jokes or get myself and or Nisha Smiles canceled by saying
You
some
ain't getting me
bullshit.
canceled.
You could get canceled. You'd be
Nah, I
canceled by
can't.
association.
Nah, I don't believe in that. That's
Oh
a myth.
yeah?
Canceled by association is a myth.
Hold my beer. We about to do it today.
See, you wilding. I don't want to. How do you in meeting for all?
Nah. We about to do it today. Nah, I'm playing. I don't want y'all to think I'm coming into this recklessly, and I'm not. I feel like this is a topic that needs to be discussed within the community, and it's just something that the Lord laid on my heart
Share with the people.
to share with the people.
Mm.
It all started with Jonathan Majors. Everybody knows Jonathan Majors, right? He played Kang the Conqueror in the new Marvel series and the new Marvel movies. He is also playing what's his name? Damien. I think his name is Damien in Creed 3. I still haven't seen Creed 3. So
You gotta see it.
did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Who you saw it?
Why you in my business?
You don't just go see Creed 3. You
Who don't?
you
Who don't?
who you saw?
I went by myself.
Got you. Heard you. I respect that. I know who you saw with though.
Myself.
Yeah, he was arrested for allegedly abusing his girlfriend in an Uber, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I honestly don't know all the details, but it just sparked like a large scale in my head, just discussion. And I feel like we should talk about domestic violence.
I
And
feel
yeah, I feel like it's something that needs to be spoken about. There's many facets to it, and we just got to figure out what is something we can do to help people that are victims of domestic violence and to try not to get into a situation like that ourselves. And if we do somehow get into that situation, how to get out of it. You know what I'm
facts.
saying?
So on the Jonathan Mayers thing, I do want to just acknowledge the fact that of course everything, all the news says that it was alleged. Um News did come out that she recanted, that the next morning what happened was it was a situation at one night, and then they went their separate ways, and then the next morning that's when she reported it, and apparently she then she then recanted, and I don't know how to feel about that. That's why I just mind my business when it comes to like celebrity one side story, two side story type of thing, because we will never know.
Yeah, that he said, she said type of thing is it's hard to deal with. And definitely once police get involved, it's also hard to get away from. So recanting might not be the end all be all in a situation. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Once you make that report, that's it. It follows you. There's
Yeah.
not much you can do behind that besides
Yeah.
saying that I lied or something like that. And even then, it's still in somebody's jacket.
The notion's already made. People already form opinions. And there's so many opinions
Exactly.
going on. Like there's opinions about how this is all to set up a black man once he starts winning. Now things go crazy. Then there's the notion of, oh, maybe it's a cover up because now she's recanting the following day or however long she took to recant. Now it's a cover. Like it can be so many different opinions about it. And that's why I just don't have one on it. Because it's not a lot of information even out. Like, I mean, they really trying to. I mean, as a publisher should for celebrities, they're trying to make sure not too many details are out there because there was not much I could find when I tried to look. But yeah, so I get that. I understand why you want to talk about DV. I do want to state that to all the listeners out there, if you or anyone you know is dealing with domestic violence, there is a national domestic violence hotline out there for confidential support 24/7, 365 days a year. Check it out. You can call 1-800-799-7233 or send an SMS text with the word START in capital letters to 88788. And of course, we'll have that information in the description or wherever we can, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. So just had to throw that out there, make sure everyone is aware. Where do you want to take us? How are we starting this conversation?
Well, obviously, we should start it with the definition of domestic violence, of course.
There we
You know
go.
what I'm saying? I thought you would come up with this. You're usually the definition person. I kind of just play it by ear. So I feel like you might have a dictionary in front of you. Do you?
I mean, I definitely have the definition right in front of my eyes.
See,
Like,
of
would you
course
like
you
to
do.
hear it?
Yeah, I would.
No, yeah, I would. You get on my nerves. Huh? All right. So, definition defines domestic violence as violent or aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or partner.
That's
Now,
pretty
with
cut and
that,
dry. Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you disagree, or do you feel like it's more to it, it's less
I
to it?
definitely feel like there's more to it. This might be an outdated version of the definition. It's still a piece of it, but they might need to add some more. This comes from Merriam-Webster.
You and this Miriam shorty, like, what did y'all go to school together or something?
What happened?
Like, you really love her like she's the only dictionary in the world. Like,
Oh, so you sound like an Oxford person. Hmm. Okay.
now I don't know. I don't remember where I cited it from, honestly.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I do feel like there needs to be more. Dictionary gets updated every year, I believe. So maybe we'll see some more soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna just straight up ask you. Well, let me say this, right?
Mhm.
There are different types of domestic violence, right? There's all different types of relationships and abuse in relationships. You have mental, you have physical, and you have emotional. Do you feel like you've been subject to any one of those?
I want to add one. And I
Oh,
don't know if this is a real thing, but I feel like there's a such thing as financial abuse.
I'm gonna need you to explain that one to me.
um, I just feel like you know how someone abuses their power or like abuses your kindness or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there may be situations where you're abused financially. Like, you're taken advantage of, you're
Mm-hmm.
ripped dry, you're manipulated, you're gaslighted, all types of things. So I just off rip, like when you think about mentally, physically, emotionally, I'm like, financially too. Like, you know, you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't
You
spend
never
that
had
much
nobody
money.
you never had nobody financially abuse you?
Nah, probably my mom.
That still count. Like, I ain't
You
go, I
know.
mean, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, this is a small, like, funny, lighthearted version of financial abuse. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I never gave my parents back their change when I went to the store. Like,
I
that's
mean, who
financial
did?
abuse. But that's financial abuse.
I feel like you might have been the one to give people their change back, though. You look like a give a change back type of person.
Not to my parents,
Wow.
especially not to my mom. Like, my dad would be like, my change is $5.38. My mother be like, "Where's my change?" And I'll be like, "I got you," and don't got you.
mm, got
You know
you.
what I mean?
Heard you. Heard you.
But people, if I want to store for someone else, that's different. But I just feel like
Uh-huh.
parents
No,
specifically.
if you're a thief, you're a thief. That's fine.
I am
Um,
not.
but you're a thief, you're a thief. It's okay. You can steal. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Stealing is not that
Anyway,
bad. It's not abuse or anything. It's just stealing.
anyway.
Um, so with that being said, do you feel like that you've been in any type of abusive relationship? And this keep in mind, this is a safe space for everyone in the world to hear. Um, yeah, so it's okay if you don't
Um,
want to share.
well, I mean, I I want to know you, of course. I want to know your story, if you have one. But I
Hmm.
definitely was most emotionally abused before.
Hmm.
And I want to say, like, mentally connected, like, emotionally and mentally abused. And like, this person probably does not know the extent to how they abuse me, but like, it all plays an effect. I'm not gonna go
Mm.
into too many details, but I've definitely been in that situation before where it's supposed to come from someone you don't expect it to come from. You know what I mean? Like
Makes
a loved
sense.
one.
Hmm.
Um and in that type of situation, I feel like you just have to forgive and let it go if you want to continue the relationship,
Hmm.
um or if it's worth continuing. um but this was at a young age. This was probably my teenage years, like a specific memory that I'm thinking about. uh,
Hmm.
and it stayed with me, it carried with me for a very long time, and it shaped the way I express myself, because it kind of happened like I was expressing my feelings, and I was like completely shut down and told, like, you sound stupid for what you're saying. Like, that sounds dumb.
Mm.
And it was like the first time I was ever expressing myself to this person. Um, And so it really messed with me. Like, it was that, and then all the like other small, constant emotional and verbal abuse that was happening. Yeah.
Okay. Is that all you're sharing right now?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. So I understand where you're coming from. In my case, I feel like I have been a part of a mentally and emotionally abusive relationship. Um, in that relationship, I was definitely made to feel like less than the average human being. Like I was not good enough to have the person. Like I needed to do extra to measure up to what she could have in her life, but instead she had me. Um, I believe that's also, I think the mental and emotional kind of play into each other. You know what I'm saying? Because when you feel
Mhm.
that way emotionally, you just, you start to get depressed. You start to have anxiety like, yo, if I do something wrong, she's gonna leave me, she's gonna do this, or she's gonna do that. It definitely plays a part on your psyche. And eventually it really broke me down. You know what I'm saying? And I was in a situation in a position to where I felt like I would never be good enough for anybody, including myself. Like I could never do anything right. I could never get myself right. Which brings me into the next thing. The way I got out of that relationship was kind of just like, putting my foot down.
Mm.
Putting my foot down and kind of just building myself up. I started doing things that made me feel good. You know what I'm saying? I really had to sit down and think about it and realize that the first step was realizing that I was in an abusive relationship. And as a man, that's a hard thing to do. You get what I'm saying? We'll probably talk about it somewhere along these lines. Men are not going to be quick to say they're in an abusive relationship because who wants to say that a woman was their abuser in any way, shape, or form? You know what I'm saying? We look weak. You look like a weak man, and it's not that. It's not that. We men go through so much, and then coming home to an abuser is even worse. You're supposed to come home to peace. So I definitely, took control of my own life, started doing things on my own. Like I said, after I realized that I was in this type of relationship, I had to look for key things that would keep me where I wanted to be as a person. So,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? How did you get out of your abusive relationship?
So one, I just have a follow-up question. I just want to know, because you're talking about like men not kind of being able to admit that. At any point during it, did you tell anyone, or when you realized, did you tell anyone, or were you just like, I got this on my own?
I did speak to some people. I spoke to definitely my sister and maybe like two or three other people. And out of those two and three people, my sister was the only one who really took me seriously as a man and said, "Well, what can I do to help you?" You get what
Mm.
I'm saying? Everyone else is like, "Yo, what? What do you mean you're being abused? What do
Was
you
everyone
mean?"
else males?
Two males and one woman.
Mm,
Hmm.
got you.
Yeah.
Um, for me, I never got out of the relationship per se.
Hmm.
Um, I just I developed a strong hate for this person for a long time, and then I just forgave them. Um,
Mm.
I had to like kind of let it go. You know
Got
what I
you.
mean?
Hmm.
Because it wasn't a relationship that I could have easily given up or cut off or dismantled. It was that type of situation. So
And what made you feel like you were strong enough to forgive someone who abused you in a certain type of way?
because I still had to see them, I still had to be around them, and I honestly, what made me forgive them is that I started noticing they're hurt for not having me a part of their life the way they wanted me to. Because I had cut it off to the point where, like, I'll see you, I'll be around you, but I hate you. You know, I don't want to speak to you. I don't want to be around you. And then to see or hear about how that pains them to not have me in their life, I was like, you know what? I'll forgive you. But that was the first step, because I thought that was the only step. And then after that, I was like, oh, wait, I didn't fully forgive. Like, that wasn't all of it. Like, that was just step one. The internal, like, forgiving was the healing part for me, because I had to be able to be like, okay, you know what? Do I really forgive this person? Am I going to let this go? Or am I going to hold this over their head for the rest of their lives? So I chose not to hold it. But it was a internal, like, process. Like, it was like, okay, you know, like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Got you. I feel like in my situation, what I did to heal was kind of just separate myself from the situation, kind of like what you did. Like, you can't heal if you're still going through it. It's basically like you got stabbed and you keep stabbing that same area. That same area is not gonna heal. You know what I'm saying? You keep messing with it, you keep stabbing it, it's not gonna heal. You cannot heal in the very place that you got hurt. You get what I'm saying? So I had to get away from it, had to just start doing things to build myself back up. One of them being working out. Like, if anybody knows me personally, they know I be in the gym all the time. You get what I'm saying? And it's just I that's one of the ways that I kind of decompress. Is kind of one of the ways that I just get my mind right. And at the same time, I'm doing something that I want to do for myself. I want to make myself better by doing this for me. So it's kind of just like taking control.
Like, from a bodyguard or something, right?
Exactly. Or like that state senator would say, like, reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my body. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes I say no. Like, the funny thing is, one thing that was always a issue with me in my relationships is I was a yes man. Like, anything you wanted, I would make it happen. And sometimes I realized that I needed to say no. So now sometimes I say no for no reason, no ass reason. Like, people just, hey, can you do this? No. You know what I'm saying? I just say no because I know I can. And I have a real problem when people get mad that I say no, because why can't I? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I am right now. So
You know what's funny? People sometimes, very often too, people ask with the expectation that you're already going to say yes.
exactly.
And that's where it makes me want to say no even more. Don't expect me to say yes. Like, don't do that.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely right.
Because then at that point you shouldn't ask. Just take it. If you can't take, then it's not meant for you. Like, relax. But okay, so have you ever seen someone you care about in an abusive relationship?
I have. And that's another thing that kind of sparked this conversation, because we need to do our research and try to figure out what some of the signs are for someone who is in an abusive relationship, in some type of domestic violence relationship. It's hard knowing that somebody around you is in that type of situation and you don't know what to do. There's so many aspects to it. Like, do you risk helping them? You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes people aren't ready to be rescued. And it sucks to say that, you know what I'm saying? But somebody who don't want to be rescued ain't gonna get rescued. So what what is it that we can do? Do we even risk helping that person? Do you need to, possibly try to gauge them and see if they're ready to be rescued? What does that look like for somebody? It's different for everybody.
Yeah. You know, the major key there for me is a attempted rescue can cause more harm than good if it's not the right time. Because,
Exactly.
I read somewhere, I think I saw somewhere, the statistics for a domestic violence person going through something is like they're gonna get like try to get help or leave the situation over 7 times, like the average
Wow.
person. And
That's a lot of times.
that's a lot of times. And it just makes you think like if you try that first rescue and then a month later they go back, because people in general don't have patience. Like it's just we were not born with patience. It's something you have to acquire and work on to control and build up. So do people get tired of trying to rescue somebody? Like,
Exactly.
how many times do you attempt? So I think the biggest thing we could do is just show support. Like I think for me personally, I've never asked somebody if they're going through that. I want you to be able to open up to me and tell me yourself, because if I pry and that backs you into a corner more, I worry about that. You know what I mean? Like you pry and you ask somebody and then they really go further away, because a lot of times people dealing with stuff like that will isolate, just like how we said we isolated from what was going on from that person. People will isolate from being saved until they're safe enough.
That's a fact. You're right. I totally agree with you. Now, that's the thing. The funny thing about that is the next thing I have on the topic is, what if it's an ex? You know what I'm saying? Do you care about, like let me set the scene for you. Like we just talked about, just anybody, but we were mainly talking about maybe friends and family, right? You were with somebody, y'all broke up, maybe y'all on good terms, maybe you're not, but you see them in the street maybe a year later, and you see the signs of them being in an abusive relationship. Or maybe you saw the person abusing them themselves. It's your ex. Do you still try to help them? Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah. So for me, because I love unconditionally off rip, anyone I was ever dealing with, don't do this. Don't do the eyes. Listen to me. Hear me out. Anyone I was ever dealing with, I still have some form of love for. So I would never want to see them struggling like that. Even the ex that I hate the most at this very moment, if I seen them being abused with my own eyes, I would ask them what type of support they needed. Like that's just always gonna be my bear. What type of support do you need? I don't fuck with you myself, but I can help you get support. What can I do? Can I call someone for you? Can I make an arrangement? Can I do some research for you? You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Like, but it doesn't, even if I don't, because there's one particular person I'm thinking of, and I didn't know this person for too long, but I dare you. I didn't know this person for too long, but if I saw that, I don't want you going through that. You know what
Got
I'm
you.
saying? So
Got
what's
you.
important? But and that's the baseline for anybody. Whether I still fuck with you or not, whether I hated you, whether I still love you, I just care about humans too much to not be like, hey, what support do you need? But that's if I saw it happening. I do feel like if I didn't see it happening, I just saw like a bruise or something. I'm not gonna ask you. And that's just me personally, because I feel like if I was to, I see it playing out in so many different ways. If I ask a person, hey, what's going on? Why you got that black eye? What are you doing to your camera?
I'm sorry. I don't understand what just happened. Keep going though. Don't even worry about me.
It just
Like,
because that just threw me for so many loops. It was like,
don't
yo,
worry
like
about
where is
me.
he? Like,
Damn.
listeners, you know what, that little quick laugh was needed. Anyway, I feel like if I didn't see it happen, I cannot question you. Like I cannot. That's just me personally. I'm not gonna be like, yo, Kyle, like I see that bruise on your face. Like what's going on? It's, you know what? It's gray area for me. Because now that I think about it, if I seen you with a black eye, I'm gonna ask you why you had a black eye.
Mm.
But if I feel like, say we was around like a group, a party, and you came with a female, and you had a black eye, and you was
She did it.
shut up. And you was exhibiting like certain type of movements around her, or like, you know, you wouldn't go away from her, or like it was like the energy. I would have to see
She
some
did that
energy.
shit. Yeah, she did that shit.
But I would really have to
But
see some energy for me to, like, you know, make a move on like accusing or accent. Like if I just see you with a bruise, maybe you was playing ball. Like you be in the gym, maybe you was bench pressing and the weight filling your eye. I don't know. I can't just automatically jump to, you know, somebody hit you. Who did that
weight
to
falling in your eye in the gym is crazy.
you?
But I understand where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
definitely understand where you're coming from. It's a lot. Quick story, right? By now everybody knows that I have children, and I do not reproduce asexually. But so they have a mother. Um, but one day one of my sons came to me and he was like, "Oh, I seen." He told me basically that he saw his mother's boyfriend bullying her, right? And the funny part is, like, couples is couples, you know, couples play fight, they do this, they do that. And he just told me, like, you know, innocently or whatever. So I asked her, and, you know, she was like, thank you for asking, but nah, everything is good. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, I don't know what it was. I don't know anything like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like you should still ask. You know what I'm saying? But me, definitely, because I mean, there's more than just her at stake. It's my kids also. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to ask. Like, hey, is everything all right? It doesn't have to be, hey, she beating you up, bro. It just, hey, is everything all right? You know what I'm saying? I definitely pulled it to the side, like, yo, old boy said so and so, so and so. Everything okay? You good? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, you do that at the risk of people feeling like you still want them, or you want them back, or you care more than you do. But at the end of the day, you care about people's well-being. You care whether people is alive or not. So honestly, it shouldn't even matter whether it's an ex or not. But unfortunately, in this day and age, it kind of does. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
So in that situation, like this, or you just shared, someone told you, like your son came to you and reported some information back to you, whether it
Hmm.
was like a, I have to tell you this, daddy, or just like a, however
Hmm.
it came out, it was said to you. If he did not say anything to you and you just saw like a bruise, or not even it happening, because of, if you saw it happening, then you know for sure. If you
Hmm.
saw a bruise or something in exchange, in passing, or whatever the case may be, would you still have went to that place and asked if everything was okay?
Of course. I would have asked, is everything okay? How did you get that bruise? You know what I'm saying? There's more questions to be answered at that point, because there's clear evidence of you doing something. You know what I'm saying? But I just need to figure out if you've been out there fighting people, or if people been in here fighting you. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Simply put.
Got you. Got you.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But to answer the legitimate question at hand, yes, I would still ask somebody if they were an ex, you know, if they're okay, or try to help them.
I get that. I get that. You know what it is? I'm very apprehensive because I've, like, grown up, I watched a lot of Law and Order SVU, a lot
Good
of
stuff.
shows, good stuff. I was just like,
Boom,
oh,
boom, dum, 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 dum.
I'm dead.
Boom,
Um,
boom, dum, 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 dum. All right, let me chill.
nah, let me let you rock.
And then my son Ice-T be coming in. Yo, Olivia, we got a rape on West 79th Street, Liv.
Yo, that impersonation was crazy. Yo, who you just thought you was? Okay.
That's
Ice
Ice-T.
lemonade? Nah, that was ice
Ice-T.
lemonade.
He'd be like, yo, Liv, this niggas raping niggas on.
Anyway, R.I.P. Munch. I'm just throw that out there.
Go ahead.
Definitely R.I.P. Munch. But yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah. Rest in peace, Munch.
facts.
Munch, my nigga,
It's
he was a
crazy
munch.
how it's so crazy how we'll sit there and really call somebody. But what did you just say? Because I missed it, and you dead gave away with your eyes. What did you just say?
Nothing.
Yo, listeners, if y'all heard what he said, please let me know. Anyway, annoying. Why we do that? Like, why we sit there and really hold somebody to their TV actor name? Like, rest in peace, Munch. Like, what's his real name? Like,
the nigga name is Munch.
But anyway, the point that I was making is like seeing it so much on television and seeing how the stories played out, even in movies, even like, like the situation. I don't know if you know that song by Kelly Rowland, Dirty Laundry, and her talking about the abuse. You never heard that song? Like for real?
No, that is.
So in the song, she's basically talking about the abuse she went through, her domestic violence case, and how like nobody knew, how her husband or boyfriend, whoever it was like sheltering her away from everybody. She didn't even tell Beyonce. He was like telling her like nobody loves you like I love you and all this other stuff. And so I just feel like I've seen so many like stories played out where like that person does not accept help, does not want to talk about it, does not, all these things. Like even to the point where my own experience. So, I worked for a call center before, and someone called into that call center and showed signs that they were being abused. And it was a very intense phone call. That phone call it went so fast. I was trying to get them help, I was trying to do the best I could, but it was a very difficult situation. And so I just feel like, do you feel like there's this the media outlets that portray domestic violence, does that change, or does that have any, I guess, does that add anything to the way you view domestic violence?
It definitely numbs us to domestic violence in a lot of ways. Like some people still feel how they feel about it, but I feel like this new generation is kind of numb to it, and it's actually being normalized. Like just yesterday, I was scrolling through Instagram, and Blueface and Krishan Rock were having an argument on live, and she's literally throwing glass vases at him and punching him in the face and doing this and doing that. That is abuse. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably started it. So I would say it's abuse both ways, but two wrongs don't make a right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are both mutually abusive to each other, and that is not a good relationship. But we just sit down and we watch it. We pull out our popcorn and we just watch it. Nobody's asking, yo, what can we do to help these people? God forbid we wake up one day and we hear there's a double murder. You know what I'm saying? Or a murder-suicide. You know what I'm saying? Somebody killed the other person and then killed themselves because of all of this abuse. Coupled up with fame, it's crazy. But like I said, we're just numb to it. Back to Law and Order. Law and Order, SVU. SVU is literally a show about rape. Like it's rape every time.
It's not always rape.
It's always rape.
It's not.
90% of the time it's rape.
It'd be sex trafficking.
Is rape.
They don't only just rape sex traffickers. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
It's rape. You got what I'm saying?
It's
everything is normalized. It's normalized.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's hard. Our kids are growing up in a society where a lot of these things are normal and regular and fun to them, and they think it's okay to put up with it, and it's not.
So, but that's the thing too. This brings me to my question: like, what do you think is or your personal, if you just have like your own personal, like our moral responsibility to teach the younger generation about DV, because it's portrayed in all these outlets. You see it happening, it's glamorized, it's normalized, all these eyes. You know what I mean? Like, what is our moral responsibility?
Our moral responsibility, honestly, and my opinion, in my esteemed opinion, thank you for asking, Nesha. I feel like our moral responsibility is to sit down and educate the younger generation. Just sit down and let them know that there are things that are just not okay. And what you see on social media is not real life. One thing that I always, that's the funny thing, like, as a father, one thing I always tell my boys, yo, these video games are not real life. There's no such thing as a respawn. You know what I'm saying? They love to play video games. They'll play
Respawn?
Roblox or, huh?
Respawn?
Respawn. I'm sorry. In video game language, a respawn is when somebody dies in the game and then they just
Oh, a
reappear.
comeback.
Yeah, respawn, not a comeback.
Oh, a comeback.
Fine, right? But
A
there are no
backsies.
no, stop.
A retry.
Stop. All
A
right,
new
let's
life.
call it a retry. Yes, there you go. There's none of those. You only have one life. You get what I'm saying? So I try to teach them, like, yo, when you cross the street, look both ways, because if you get hit by a car, you ain't coming back. You get what I'm saying? Because in all these video games and all these shows, all these YouTube clips, people are doing crazy stuff and they just look like they just come back. Like there's no consequences to these actions.
Mm.
You have to let people know that things can get really crazy really quickly. And there's no just restarting it. These things follow you for the rest of your life. When you're the male, and when you're the woman, well, let me not say when you're the male. I'm sorry. I'm about to go crazy. I was about to go crazy. As a person, these things follow you for the rest of your life. Whether it's being an alleged abuser or being the abused. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we just have to let them know the importance of it. That's all you could really do, to be honest. Because I mean, the younger generation, we about to sound like some old heads right now. The younger generation, they ain't ready to listen. You know what I'm saying? You can only speak to the people that are ready to listen, ready, willing, and able to listen. They don't want to hear it, they ain't gonna hear it.
I feel you. And I want to add to that. I think, first of all, I agree, like, totally. The
Mm-hmm.
reality check, like, bringing that forefront is important. I also feel like bringing compassion and support. And what I mean by that is, like, just like you were saying earlier, like, men are not more likely to admit their type of use. I think we have to get out of the notion of only a certain type of person can be abused,
Mm.
because you don't know, people say all the time, I would never let nobody put their hands on me. You don't know that until you're in that situation, because I know a lot of people who said, I never thought this would happen, but it happened to me. So that one, and then also just compassion, like, just like you said, like, if somebody's telling you that that's what's going on, don't put that down. Don't
Mm-hmm.
say, oh, like really, like, and I know people are not with the whole validating, but I just feel like us, older generations, younger generations, everybody, we just need to validate people's feelings a little bit more. If
That's a
somebody
fact.
is telling you something hurt them, don't tell them it don't hurt you. Don't tell somebody how to feel.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't agree, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. What do you need? What do you need? And that goes a long way. And I feel like asking that question can also really help with, like, what the next step is. What if somebody says, all I need you to do is just listen to me? I'm not ready to leave the situation, but all I need you to do is just listen. Or all I need you to
And
do is
that's
just
what
stay
you
by
do.
your phone. Exactly.
That's what you
But
do.
people don't get to that point. People don't accept it. And I think that's what we need more of. Like, if somebody says it, take it seriously. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, this is another door on this episode that I don't want us to go into, but I want us to open the door and just look inside real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Stop lying. If you out there and you lying and saying that something happened to you and it didn't, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. That
I agree.
that's all I'm gonna say. Like,
Mm-hmm.
please. And I get it coming from a place where I was abused. I remember lying, saying it was someone else. Like, oh, this happened with someone else. But I was a child and I was traumatized. And I was
Mm-hmm.
trying to test the waters and see if somebody would care. But it backfired because that's a relationship that will never be the same again. Granted, we've moved past, we talked about it, and it wasn't that deep, it wasn't that big, like, oh, they this X, Y, and Z, but it was just like, oh, this person tried to do this because I was trying to I was trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you can hold it, if you can help it, don't lie about somebody doing something to you.
That's a
Like,
fact.
whether it's a celebrity or not, going back to kind of the Jonathan Mayers thing, if that is alleged and not true and not accurate.
Exactly.
No matter what.
I would also tell the men, like, report. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
something is going on with you, report. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about being a bitch. It's not about being less of a man. It's about your safety. It's about your health. It's about your future. Report. Report.
Mm-hmm.
And it sucks that people, don't take men seriously when they report any type of abuse, be it mental, physical, anything. But say something. Say something to somebody. Somebody's gonna listen. Somebody's gonna understand you. I know we live in a fucked up world where men can't be hurt by women in certain ways, like or we look like this or we look like that. Nah, just report. Say something to somebody so that your life can keep going. That's
Facts.
it.
Period. You got anything more you want to say? Because I'm definitely changing my random radio song for the day.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I don't have anything else to say. Um, yeah, we're gonna do random radio. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, cool. So, funny thing is, we spoke before and I ended up changing my random radio. So it's so funny that you changed yours because mine was kind of a copy of yours a little bit. Um, but this one is called The King's Affirmation by Iniko. And I know a lot of you will recognize it as soon as you hear it. And it's dope.
Mm.
Go ahead, Nisha.
All right, y'all. So dang, I almost want to give give the one I had before so I could match your vibe.
Nah, don't even worry about it.
But honestly, I'm just gonna mention it again because I feel like because the only reason why I wanted to change it because I'm like, you never heard Dirty Laundry by Kelly
Mm,
Rowland? Like, so that's just an honorable mention. Y'all, if y'all heard it, listen to it. But
mm.
I'm gonna keep mine the way it was.
Oh,
And
now we get honorable mentions, huh?
I mean, can we not?
Not getting an honorable
Can
mention.
I not? Can I? I mean, can I not?
Man, do what you want to do, man.
I was gonna do that anyway.
We here.
Um, what? What?
Nothing. Go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Oh, okay. Nah, so but honestly, you guys, my random pick for this week, on Random Discourse, check it out, y'all. Listen to the playlist because it be hitting like
Yep.
for real, for real.
Yep.
But yeah, my random pick for today is gonna be the song called Lens Check by Toni Jones. The whole album is a vibe, so if you have time, listen to the whole thing, but it's fire.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, listen, thank y'all once again for listening to the Random Radio, ugh, the Random Discourse Podcast. You see me, I'm just fucking up all day. The Random Discourse Podcast. If you want to find me, you want to find us, first of all, you can find me on Instagram at CEE_DA_profit, see the profit. If you want to find the both of us on the Random Discourse Podcast, it's at Random Discourse_pod on Instagram. There's a link in the bio. It'll show you the Twitter account, it'll show you the TikTok account, and then soon it'll show you our YouTube. If you want to see us on YouTube, go on YouTube, type in Random Discourse. You should see it. You'll see the logo. You should know it by now. I ain't gonna lie to you, which will change soon because we gotta add Nesha to the logo. But that's another conversation for another day because dragging my feet on that. And I take full responsibility for that. Nesha, let them know your socials. Let's get them out of here.
I just had to make sure y'all all knew. He wants to add me because I'm beautiful. No, I'm kidding. Y'all, it's your girl Nesha Smiles. You already know what's going on. So you can find me on Instagram at Nesha_Smiles. That's at NESHA_SMILES.
All right.
Thank y'all
Peace
for
and
tuning in.
blessings,
And
love.
thank you all supporters who just be commenting and sending messages and stuff like that. We love that. We love y'all. Keep
That's
doing
a
it.
fact. That's a fact. Keep ringing off our phones. Keep telling us, yo, how much y'all appreciate and how much y'all listen. And you know what? I learned something about Nesha the other day. All you sneaky listeners out there, let us know. Hit us up. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up. Tell us you listening, and let's talk about what you just listened to. That ass. Don't sneaky listen. We not a sneaky link. You know what I'm saying? We the Random Discourse podcast. Feel me?
Yo, they be treated like a sneaky pea.
That's a fact.
Podcast.
Like we, you know, like we small potatoes. You know what I'm saying? We trying to be medium potatoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let us know.
Nah, I'm trying to be a big potato.
All right. Y'all have a good night or day or whenever y'all listening to this.
I'm dead. Bye, y'all.
Bye. I used to start recording this shit.